Ignition. Liftoff.
Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. I'm your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, your producers, David Bonilla, Gibran Hernandez. We're here to make sure that your real estate business is growing right alongside with ours. As always, we have a phenomenal show planned out for you guys today, and we're on every Tuesday and Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. And love to hear from you live while we are on the air. So drop all your questions, comments, concerns, angry faces, thumbs up down below because we love to hear from you.
Trolling, you forgot.
Trolling. We definitely got to add trolling. Drop your trolling down below too so we can make fun of you. And talk to us. We want to hear from you guys. Oh, yeah. And I forgot. Share this with anyone out there who is in the real estate industry. Lender, agent, anyone, really? Like investors.
Anybody.
Can I get some feedback here? Who else watches this show? Who else is
Your
out there that
grandma,
watches?
your auntie,
My grandma does watch
everybody.
the show. I just told BB that I make my kids watch my show, and now he says he's going to watch what he says.
If you get 3 friends who watch the Ruckus, and they get 3 friends who watch the Ruckus, and they get 3 friends who watch the Ruckus.
If my 3 friends watch the Ruckus, can I get 3.8% of all of their
all
income
of
that they're going to make?
watchers, yes.
Oh, I love it. This is a great idea. We should
Trickle
totally,
down economics.
we
on the
should make a
Ruckus.
brokerage about that. It would be amazing.
Speaking of scams, I have a really good one for you.
I hope you guys caught that.
That was a great transition.
Yeah, it really
I love
is.
it.
Let's talk about some scams in the market real quick.
So, I just heard the craziest scam. So, recently, I helped another wholesaler. We did a co-wholesale deal. And about a week after we did the co-wholesale, the buyer came back and he said, hey, someone just came to the house and showed me a deed saying that they purchased this property at auction a month ago. What do I do? And of course, thankfully, Ashley Patton, our former attorney on the show, he's the one who closed the transaction.
Right.
So he stepped up right away. He said, don't worry about it. I got this. He did all the background research. He said, no, we're good. There's nothing filed on it. I don't know what that is. Get the paperwork from him. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
So it turns out this company, they're from out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And they hired a local company who supposedly goes to the auction on your behalf, and they bid on properties that you've pre-selected. And they go up to your bid amount. Now, you provide them with the funds to go in there and close the property, which in this case was over $400,000.
Yeah.
And this company went and supposedly bought this property, provided the buyer with a falsified deed saying, look, Harris County Constable's auction, you got the property. Congratulations, it's yours now. And they never actually owned it. It was all a scam.
You're kidding.
The company disappeared, ran off with the money, and right now they're in the process of trying to track these people down to figure out what the heck happened with their funds and what's going on. And yeah, have you heard that one before?
No, that is a new one.
Good one right there.
You know what?
Oh, man.
I'm not surprised. You hear of craziness like this happening all the time. You know, the most recent one is a lot of wire fraud that's happening where title companies I guess people take their emails and create copies of them.
Yep.
And then they send out wire instructions to potential buyers and say, here, wire your money here.
Yeah.
And it's really like an offshore bank account somewhere, I'm sure, where it can't even be tracked.
And the thing is, David knows wires really well. It's really hard to reverse a wire, right?
Is that possible? Can you go to, like, let's say you send a wire out. Is it, if I know that it's a fraud, can I just go back and be like, hey, I need to pull that one back? Is that not the case?
No, you can't pull the funds back. Basically, what it falls onto is, all your deposits are insured by the FDIC. So,
But there's a max on that.
yeah, up to $250,000.
So if it's a $500,000 house
Like
and
this
you
one.
wired the funds, you're out of luck on the other $250,000.
As far as the bank goes, I know most of the funds are insured. Now, obviously, somebody's going to be getting fired. I know that was the case actually when I was at the bank. Somebody gave funds to somebody they weren't supposed to. They ended up getting fired. The money wasn't ever recovered by the bank, and we just had to file an insurance claim against the.
Now, in this
them.
case, it's not the bank's fault. These people were just working with someone who they thought was legitimate.
The buyers, you mean?
The buyers, they thought that
They
this
hired a
person,
company.
yeah, they said we want to buy houses in the Houston area, we want to invest there. We're not there. Oh, look, this company goes and helps you buy houses at auction.
Yeah.
They have good reviews. Let's go with them. Let's hire them. and they were provided with a false deed. It wasn't the deed to the property.
Dude, so that's crazy.
And
So this guy shows up. He thinks he's the owner. He's
well,
like, hey, what are you guys doing with my house?
Yeah, they show up and there's over like 50 grand worth of work already done.
Yeah.
And they're like,
So he's
wait
happy
a minute,
then.
what are you doing? Like, why are you working on this property? I own this house. And the buyer that we sold it to said, no, I own this house. I just closed on it at the title company.
Yeah.
And they were going back and forth. And they said, look, I did this at a title company. Let's go ask them. That's when Ashley got involved. And yeah, it turns out this guy definitely got scammed.
Wow.
And I lost some money along the way there. And he was scammed by these people. So that's the first time I've heard that scam. I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to bring that up on a show. I know that we don't talk a lot about different scams.
We need to talk about this.
This is something that's really affecting the market out there. And between that and the wire fraud and other scams, man, you really got to watch your back these days.
Someone lost over $400,000 on this one transaction. Can you imagine like what this guy's going through right now?
Oh man, it's got to be terrifying.
Well, what I'm wondering, and there'll be a lot of people out there that might kind of scoff at that and like, oh, he got scammed, but you would be surprised how many people fall for this, and people you wouldn't think would fall for something like that. I'm interested to see, what was their whole setup, because that must have been a damn good setup for them to, bamboozle somebody into giving them $400,000.
Yeah, at that price point. Because, the scamming happens a lot, especially if you're in the southwest part of town and one of those little trucks rolls up and tells you that they have some extra equipment, some extra speakers. Has that ever happened to you here?
That was my first time ever being scammed. I got scammed by one of those people.
That happened to my wife when she was pregnant. She was so sad about it because she ended up bringing me this box and she was like, oh, I got this great deal. This guy had some extra cameras, and we opened it up and it was like a pair of socks or something. I was like, yeah, you just paid $50 for a pair of socks.
No, man, but scams are getting really elaborate and people are losing some real serious money on the scams.
It's incredible.
These days.
So it's not the Prince of Nigeria just running the scams anymore. Now it's like everyone else.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We got to watch out. We have a great show planned out. We want to come back and talk to you guys about discrimination, which who doesn't like to talk about that? And we want to update you guys. On what OpenDoor is doing to keep us all involved. Stay tuned. You're on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back. Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555. Or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com.
Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is a place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember, you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can chat with us live during the show. We can answer your questions live on the air. And now, doing a reprise in a former role of his, David is going to give you guys the weather.
Back by popular demand. our viewers were knocking down our doors saying we haven't heard a weather report. I don't know what's going on.
We haven't.
outside.
We need it.
They were standing outside the door. Weather.
I can't see for myself if it's raining or not. So yes, obviously it is pretty rainy outside. Now the thing that's going to be disappointing to me the most is in the next few days we're actually going to see our temperatures rise back up into the 80s.
So we go from actually putting on some cool sweaters and jackets
Exactly.
to back to like shorts.
Put back your sweaters, put back your winter clothes,
With all
at
this
least for the
rain,
next
it's going
few
to be
days.
super humid.
That's right. So over Friday and the weekend, we'll actually see temperatures in the low 80s and high 50s for the lows. And for the rest of the day, today and tomorrow, we should expect some more rain. But after that, hopefully it cools back down because, to be honest, I am sick of all the hot and humid weather in Houston. That's
too.
your weather report for today,
Hey,
guys.
but if we're gonna have like a hot weekend, we should do like a last
party?
like a last hurrah, like a pool party / bonfire at my house. We all down
in
for that?
case it's cold, you move to one section. If it's hot, you just move over to the pool.
Either one works.
It's a pick your party type party.
All right, let's talk a little bit about this whole discrimination thing. Or do we want to do OpenDoor first? What do you guys want? What do you think?
Let's start off with the discrimination because everybody likes a good old discrimination.
Who doesn't like talking about
conversation.
discrimination? So here's the thing. Normally, when we talk about discrimination on the show, we do a section called "Is it racist?" Because we
it's been a while since we've done.
and it's been a little while. We haven't found any racist issues happening lately on the news. I'm sure they exist. We just haven't seen them
in real estate.
In real estate, right? Because there's a lot more outside of that. Now, let's talk about maybe not discriminating against race itself, which is what we find every once in a while, but actually familial status. So what's going on in Wisconsin that made it to the news?
Okay, so this is really crazy. And everyone's going to hear my opinion on it, your opinion, and I don't know. I think
we all have an opinion.
It's going to be a really landmark decision when all
Yeah.
of this is over. But essentially, what happened in Wisconsin, a family put their house up for lease, and they got a lease application, and the personal application was 2 adults with 5 children, 2 children that would be living in the house full time, 3 children that would be living there 50% of the year. Which, I mean, I guess there's some divorce or something there.
They get custody every hour.
There's custody issues there. So total 5 children. Well, the landlord decides, hey, no, I'm not going to accept you. And they said, well, why not? What's wrong with us? Like, we submitted our application, we paid the fees, we did everything that you asked us to. Why are you denying us? And they said, well, we're denying you because 5 kids is too many kids in this house.
Yes.
Hey, this house is not designed for that. This house is designed for 5 people at the most. You're trying to put 7 people into it. And plus, the extra ones are kids. And we don't feel comfortable with that, so we're going to deny your application.
And the landlord actually blamed it on his wife and said his wife isn't comfortable with having the 5 children. And
when in doubt, blame it on your wife, right?
Who doesn't use that one?
And they believe that the house would not be cleaned properly, and they were concerned with things getting stained and damaged due to the amount of children
All
in
right,
the house.
so let me just tell you guys, I recently sold my house, the house that I've lived in the most time.
Well, hold on real quick. Let me finish what happened with them.
Yeah.
So the tenants, or the prospective tenants, they got upset and they went and they filed a complaint for discrimination.
With HUD.
With HUD.
And HUD took the case up and they looked at it and they said, yeah, that is discrimination. You're discriminating against them for having too many kids.
Yeah. Based on
and they
familial
filed,
status.
based on familial status, and they filed charges against them in the state court or in the federal courts of Wisconsin, saying we're going to file charges against you for discrimination, and if they lose that, there's potentially fines and other repercussions that they're going to face, including the real estate agent who's also working on the transaction for not advising them that that's discrimination. Now, I'll let you tell your story now that we understand everything going on here.
Let me just be real clear that the law does not say you can't discriminate against your own kids. All right, so I'm going to discriminate against my own kids right now because when I sold my house, I wanted to whoop their little you-know-whats because once we took out the furniture, there was writing pictures, like random words and numbers, like with every type of marker or any type of lotion or whatever you can imagine, like behind everything that we moved. There was no way, there was no chance I was going to ever be able to sell that house if I hadn't repainted everything. And there was one stain in my daughter's bedroom that we couldn't even like kilt over it and paint it because it was like with oil. Like she like had taken some oil or something, and we We just never seen it because she had hid it behind like a poster or something, and boom. So now we had to like cut out that piece.
Paint in that room, bro.
We had to cut out that piece of sheetrock, and I mean, what I'm telling you is, I'm not sure that I blame this
Wait,
this
how long
landlord.
did y'all live in that house?
We lived in there 7 years.
7 years, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. But look,
But you were a homeowner, and I got to say this: home renters tend to do more damage to a property faster than a homeowner.
that is no doubt true. And we have a really strict policy at my house. Like, my kids know that we take care of our house. Like, we have real rules against any damaging of the property. I doubt that tenants have those.
Yeah.
Because they don't really care. They have $1,000 on the line and screw it. If they have to leave a hole or paint the entire room black or maybe with oil, whatever the heck it is, they don't care. They'll walk away from it. But so I see the concern that this landlord has. It's a duplex, which means it's not a lot of square footage. Yes, it's got 3
It's
bedrooms.
more than you think.
It's got 3 bedrooms, but you're gonna
What's the
stick
square
you're gonna
footage on
stick
it?
7
Well, there's
people.
like 1,300 square feet upstairs, but there's a whole finished basement downstairs. There's another 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2,300 square feet. That's still not huge for 7 people.
Yeah.
It's a good size, but it's still not huge for 7 people. And with it being a duplex, my issue would be you're going to be right next door, connected to another family.
Yeah.
So it's going to be loud on that one side of the house. In addition to everything else they said. Now, here's what's crazy. My old condo, the HOA regulations prohibited you from having more than 2 people per bedroom.
Yeah.
So if it was a 2-bedroom, you were allowed to have 4 people living there.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't matter if they were adults or kids. Kids counted the exact same as adults. So you could have a maximum of 4. If you had 2 adults in one room and you try to put 3 in the other room, 3 kids, which is what they try to do, 3 kids in one of the rooms, the HOA could deny the lease and say, no, we're not accepting that lease as an HOA. Is that discrimination?
I guess so.
This went up to the federal HUD level.
So that's why we're bringing this up, because this is going to court, and this is going to decide whether it is possible to discriminate against the size of the actual family. Because yes, so family status is protected, but no one's ever really said, well, what about if I have 15 kids and I want to stuff them all into one house? That creates a problem all on its own, and HUD can't. Look, there's also the other side of it. There's property rights. There's the fact that this landlord is saying, hey, you know what? I'm worried about my house being damaged. I'm worried about the fact that I know it may not be taken care of like I would like for it to be.
Yeah.
There's some property rights issues there to discuss too. Not just the fact that yes, this poor family didn't get approved, but additionally, hey, what about the property itself? What about not wanting to have a house that you can't resell later?
I can definitely see both sides. Yes, the property owner is going to be worried about damage, noise, but then at the same time for the family, those are all assumptions being made,
Yeah.
And we're obviously looking from the property owner standpoint, but from their point, how does that landlord know that they will be unclean, how they will damage that property, or even that they will be noisy? All of those are assumptions, not necessarily based in fact.
Well,
Now,
and I think the reason why they got in trouble was because of their response, by the way.
They said it straight up.
Yeah.
They said, oh, you're not accepted because of your
Yeah,
children.
See, that's
so
the problem
that's a
is
bad agent too.
You shouldn't have to, as the homeowner, I shouldn't have to BS you and give you some other run around the mill. I should be able to say, hey, look, I'm afraid that you guys aren't going to take care of the property. And now my question is, what if they had said, we'll accept you, but you're going to have to put a triple security deposit? Would that be allowed?
I guess they could have.
I think that would be some probably form of discrimination as well.
Yeah, think about it. Because can you say that to someone of color? We'll accept you, but we're going to need triple deposit.
Yeah, but you can't say that someone of color is going to damage the house the same way as having 5 kids living
I don't
there.
think you'd be able to do that.
You're assuming both things. Just
Yeah.
like when those cops stopped you in Sharptown, they
Yeah.
assumed just because you had a nice car, you were brown,
that I was
you're up
there to
no
do some
good.
drugs. Yeah,
I see
exactly.
I see what you're saying now. You're saying it goes more with the profiling, that you're
Yes.
profiling that family
Yeah.
as destructive
Yeah.
just because the size of their
Dude, because
family.
I tell you what, when we go stay with
I
my
don't know that's
grandma,
profiling. I can guarantee
It
you.
is
A house with 5 kids is going to be more destroyed than a house with 1 kid.
you can't guarantee it though.
We know that.
More times than not, you'll probably win that bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also can't assume it.
Well, look, the one thing
It's a
that they
tough
failed to touch on was there's some health and safety concerns by putting too many people in one space. That's why we have health codes and regulations, for example, like in restaurants or really any public space. You can't just stuff a bunch of people in a place where they don't actually fit or they can't get out of easily.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what the actual limit is or if there's limits in that.
So property code for that specific town in Wisconsin states, I think it was 70 square feet per person. So you can't,
they could have actually fit another 3 or 4 people in there based off the square footage rules.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So according to that property code, they had more than ample room in there to have those residents.
So they can't even fall back on health and safety there.
No.
This is just going to be one of those deals where once it goes to court, we'll be able to figure out whether the court is going to side with the landlord based on property rights and protection of their property, or the tenant who has the right to not be discriminated against.
And you know what this is going to really bring up is a question, just like you can't ask race on a property application, you can't say, are you Hispanic on a property application? Are you black on a property application? This is going to really bring up, can you even ask how many kids are going to be there?
Well,
can you ask, until it's leased,
that's
can you
true.
even ask that?
That may actually be something that gets removed, because right now on your lease application, you do have to put
you have to name
who's
every
going
single
to be
person.
there.
You have to name their age, too.
Right.
Who's going to be there, but that may be something that says you can ask that, but not until after the lease is signed. Until the lease
to make
is
sure
signed,
you meet property code or whatever it might be.
Exactly. That's going to be really interesting, because this could have a really big deal.
Yeah.
It could really open the door to a lot of other things. Now,
Yeah. Speaking of opening doors. So we gave you guys a quick update last week on what was happening with OpenDoor, this new company that has really taken a lot of different markets by storm in terms of offering cash for sellers who want to sell quick, right?
Yes.
Now, there's tons of other companies who have done that in the past and have been very, very successful, and we brought some of those up here as well, like, for example, Homevestors. But OpenDoor has a different strategy to this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, they're doing it differently.
They've really taken a different path, and while they haven't been accepted in some markets, they've been really successful in others, and now they're breaking into Houston, and we're getting offers from them, and now they're saying something else. Now they're adding something to this whole spectrum that makes it a little bit interesting. So what are we finding right there?
So up until this point, OpenDoor has been unwilling to work with real estate agents. They just, that hasn't been part of their forte. They've been wanting to work directly with the consumer.
Yep.
And when we get back from the break, we're going to tell you what OpenDoor is doing to open the door to the market for more real estate agents to work with them.
This may be a game changer. You're going to hear it here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555, or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com.
Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is a place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus, where you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube where you can chat with us live during the show. We can answer your questions live on the air. Now, before we went to break, we had an incredible discussion on housing discrimination and a landmark case that's going on right now from HUD in Wisconsin. And we'll keep you updated on that through future episodes. We love to follow those cases.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
we will keep everyone updated. And then we started talking about OpenDoor. And OpenDoor is an iBuyer. They buy directly from consumer. And their entire model up to this point has been work directly with the seller, work directly with the customer, don't get the agents involved. But today they decided...
and they're called OpenDoor because they let buyers instantaneously view their properties.
Without an agent.
Without
so
an agent.
even if you are just
part
a
of it.
stranger walking down the street, you can go in and look at that property. Now, something interesting is happening. OpenDoor just decided they're going to start working with agents, but the way that they're doing it is what I really find interesting. So basically the way it works, let's say you have a listing. Let's say it is that listing that you brought the other day.
Yeah.
Well, what OpenDoor is saying is, look, Alan, bring me that listing. We'll buy it. We'll pay you your commission. We'll give you a little referral fee on top of it for bringing us the listing. And after we rehab the house, we'll let you be the listing agent on the relisting of that property. What do you think about that? And people are saying, well, that sounds pretty damn good. But here's my thing. Is that a violation of the fiduciary duty of the agent to try to funnel their people there since they know they're going to be getting the listing back and because they're getting that little bit of extra bonus? Where do you draw the line there, and is what they're doing ethical to put agents in that position?
You know, they didn't invent this. They didn't come up with this strategy on their own. So they may take credit for this, but this isn't something that all of a sudden they decided they were going to do and now are changing the market. This strategy has been happening for a long, long time in the investor side of the world, where investors tell the agents that they work with that when they find a deal, they'll give them the listing.
Yeah.
Now, the difference is that OpenDoor is saying, hey, bring me your listings and I'll give you the listing on the back end. So I think there is a gray line that they're stepping on, because why would that agent right now is being compensated to talk their client into selling to OpenDoor so that now they can go and relist that property on the back end?
Oh yeah, I mean it's basically as OpenDoor saying, I'm going to give you a little extra commission for going and convincing your client to sell at the lower price. And this is a real life example I'm using here. It would be the same as him saying, come on, I'll give you an extra 1%, but you got to convince him to sell it to me at a lower price, rather than, if you know better, no man, let's sit on the market another week, we may get an offer where we're at. Now you're over there going, look, I don't think it's going to sell. I think you should take this offer from OpenDoor.
And there's a lot of agents that are going to do that. And here's the thing, it's going to take one seller to realize that that's happening and bring it up and go to court, and it's the pendulum's going to swing the complete other way. And it's going to cut a lot of agents out of the system, and it's possibly going to hurt OpenDoor along the way, because you can't violate that trust that you have. If that seller is trusting you to represent his best interest, but now all of a sudden someone else is, it's sneaky. It's like paying someone under the table to say, just bring me the deal and I'll give you some extra money. So I don't know that it was the best idea for them to publicize this. I do think a lot of people are going to jump on it. I think there's going to be a lot of trial and error, and they're going to hit some dead ends. But the biggest dead end is when a seller finds out that he didn't get as much as he should have because his agent didn't properly represent him. And if you think about it, there have been cases already where the sellers didn't get all of their equity that they felt like they needed, and they're taking those to court. And it hasn't been
complaints against the agents.
It hasn't been directly with OpenDoor, but now we're seeing that sellers are getting smarter about feeling whether they were represented or not well, and then literally taking that to court.
I mean, this worries me because you're basically creating the incentive to do something wrong. And let me tell you, this is exactly what got Wells Fargo and other banks into hot water.
Oh, that's a great example. Yes.
That's what we used to do at my former bank. We had these sales goals, and they tell us to sell quality accounts and this stuff. But when it came down to the end of the month, they sure did turn their head and just let any account come in through the door. And that's what's going to happen here. I guarantee you. They're putting their language, they're being very careful with the way they're wording it, but you're also creating the incentive to do the wrong thing.
Not only that, but look, if I know that I'm about to get an offer at $200 on a property, say that. They tell me, hey, look, we're going to go look at it this weekend, but we know we want to submit an offer at $200. And OpenDoor comes in and says, hey, we're submitting $190, but we're going to want these incentives, or we're going to kick you back these incentives, sorry. I'm really incentivized to just say, hey, let's just sell it to OpenDoor now, even though I know that other offer's coming in, and not disclosing that to my client. There's a lot of gray area there, in my opinion. There's a lot of fiduciary juggling, and it's almost like being an intermediary where you're getting compensated for representing OpenDoor. And there's a lot of problems with that.
Look, I'm going to tell you something right now. Just because we're talking about this now and just because we've already warned everyone of what could happen doesn't mean that there's not going to be a ton of agents rushing to try to go out there and do this. So hopefully you guys will share this with someone who might benefit from this. And I think right now, until something goes to court and it's finalized on what's going to be done, the best way to do it is to disclose the fact that this buyer that you're presenting an offer from is going to give you that listing on the back end. So that the seller knows that you are incentivized to
the same way you have to say if you work with a home warranty company or if you work with any other service provider, you have to disclose that.
Now right now there is no exact form to create that. There is no exact procedure to do it. So you're gonna have to speak to a broker or your broker and figure out how to make that work so that in case it does come back to you, you're not in that pile of you know what that you can that this can drag you into. All right, we're running out of time, so let's talk about some of the events that we have coming up. What do we have?
All right, so Quest IRA's Fright Night is coming up on October 25th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's going to be at the Duquesa. Yours truly and the rest of the crew are going to be there to actually sponsor the event. So it's going to be open bar, appetizers, costume contest, and a DJ. And one of the highlights of the night is usually the battle of the scary investment stories. We've heard Alan up there a couple times telling us all his great stories.
So I'm going to be raising money at this event this year.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So yes, they're going to be sharing scary stories, but we are in money raising mode right now. So that we can go ahead and fund some more of these investment properties that our clients and our agents are bringing us. So yeah, we'll be there.
Awesome. All right, and then also on this coming Monday, the 29th, at 6 p.m., we're going to be doing our Toastmasters meeting. Now, this is for Houston real estate professionals out there looking to improve their communication and public speaking skills, which I highly believe all of us should be doing. And the cool thing about this is it's been hosted at the Southwest office for White Picket Realty for the past month or so, but now we're actually going to move it to the central location, which is right on the corner of Main and Hogan, and so it's more centrally located for everybody, and hopefully more people will be able to attend. And I hope to see, I know you guys will be there. I hope to see some more folks out there as well. I know you guys have been spreading the word.
I love everything about Toastmasters. I will say it every time you bring it up. But you know what I love more? That we're having it in our central office, and we forgot to tell everybody about how amazing of a turnout we had for the launching of that office.
It was an amazing event.
Thank you guys. Thank you to all of our partners and that made that a possibility. That's including Altera Mortgage with Lucy. We had a bunch of really, really good people. I don't have the list in front of me, but we want to send you guys a big warm hug for allowing us and helping us do that. Additionally, we want to give a big shout out to Rhonda, our RSP Regional Success Partner, for taking on that role and really pushing that office forward. We're really excited. That's going to be a great, great place.
Already is. I love it.
I'm so stoked about it. All right, we are out of time for today. Don't forget to share this information with anyone out there on the market who is also interested in growing their business. We're on every Tuesday and Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Keep up your ruckus, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.